Oh man, so we did this whole thing that I thought was the pre-open, but it wasn't, and I thought it was gonna be really cute and quirky because it had my little sync clap in it, but now Joe's gonna
Yeah, but that wasn't done on
stumble over my dreams.
purpose. And we're trying
That's true.
to we're trying to look more professional. As we're sitting here in our cheap T-shirts. By the way, this was my graduation gift from my
Oh,
university. Now, from
wow.
my college, it was a Michigan Engineering alumni T-shirt. Other schools within the engineering college got these really nice portfolios and some nice
Right.
pens and just some nice. Oh, look, you're a U of M grad. Our gift was a T-shirt. It was very frustrating.
Oh
I think they gave
man.
out cookies too, but I didn't even go into the office. I was so fed up
Oh
with that.
God,
I was
Jesus.
like, yeah. It was like,
Well,
pizza party at work. So,
I tell you
not
what.
to complain. I
you
did
got
get
your
this hat. I bought it.
You
So,
did get that hat that you bought,
yeah.
which I guess you also technically bought that T-shirt in a way, right? Just
well, no,
it was a lot more expensive.
the University of Michigan did buy the T-shirt for me because they did pay for my tuition. So,
Oh, well, there you
know,
go. Look at you.
yeah.
What are you complaining about? Shut up.
The other
You don't have any real problems, obviously.
I do, but
I know
roll.
you do.
I know.
I'm
I know.
just
I
being
know.
an
I know.
asshole. But this T-shirt, by the way, the USRL Track and Turf Truck Series T-shirt's got the schedule on the back. We're still figuring out what we're gonna do for that, but I'll probably drop a link for that soon.
Yeah, Davey.
If you want to support Track and Turf and our truck series that we're sponsoring and getting broadcasts for. Gotcha.
I got on here tonight, folks, for a little behind the curtain, and Davey started a merch store, soft started it. I was not notified about it. It's okay though because I'm very proud of Davey because I keep again behind the curtain. I keep asking Davey, "Hey man, you got this. Let's do some more stuff, Davey," and he just keeps knocking it out of the park. So just keep
Little by
doing that.
little, I find one new thing to do every week and a half. So eventually, my time is it's inch by inch, 1% every day. It gets better, and then it looks like this week has been pretty slow. So I was able to get some stuff going and whatnot.
With that being said, Track and Turf Truck Series off week this week.
Off week. Have a happy July 4th.
Happy July 4th. Maybe you're listening to us on the 4th of July. Maybe you're listening to the new Zach Bryan album that's coming out on the 4th of July, because I am probably going to stay up. We are recording this on Tuesday, July 2nd.
Yep.
I am definitely going to stay up tomorrow night to try to listen to that. I'm assuming
Absolutely.
it'll drop at midnight. And then probably cry myself to sleep. But that's okay. That's okay. That's the point of listening to that kind of music. It's to make you actually feel things for once, because you're cold and dead on the inside.
These
Davey,
things happen.
you know what else made me cold and dead on the inside?
What's that?
Joey Logano winning.
Okay,
pulling
pause 1 second.
out of his.
On that, this is the Fake Racers podcast, guys. Please, thank you for tuning in. Please interact with us. Give us a like, drop a subscription, give us a rate, follow us anywhere on Twitter, on Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Do something. Download the
Also,
show. Doesn't matter. We appreciate it.
You might be wondering, where's that kooky, weirdo, lovable guy, Matthew Steelman, this week?
Just glossed over that, yeah.
He's under the weather, so Matthew, hope you're feeling better.
Yep. Hope you feel better, buddy.
We need you back because you are our viewership bump. So,
But the two of us, I'm Davey. He's
Yep.
Joe.
Yep.
And this is the Fake Racers podcast. Now you can start, Joe.
You know what else makes me really sad and depressed? It's Joey Logano winning races, especially when he
That's
does not
true.
deserve them. We had the. I don't know if we've had this running joke on here, but this man wins every race that's cool and exciting, and then it's Joey Logano won.
Yep. Yeah. I was
the
honestly
hell?
really surprised he didn't win the street race last year. It'll probably happen this year.
He went 111 laps on a tank of fuel. They said they could go
Which is
about 80.
ridiculous.
I mean, there were caution laps in there. Shout out to Denny Hamlin. Okay, real quick, shout out, but who really we're not really shouting anyone out because Kevin Harvick's a cool guy. Well, maybe not, but Kevin Harvick had an interview with Chris Gabehart, who's Denny Hamlin's crew chief, this past week. I encourage everyone to listen to it. It's very good. It's very insightful. And made me like Chris Gabehart, which makes me okay with Denny Hamlin. So that's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I already kind of was, because Chris Gabehart, if you follow his Twitter, he's a little kooky on
a
there.
little sassy, yeah.
A little sassy. When I forget what reporter said something about Logano going 110. I think it was Gluck. He said because he was slow, and then put spaces in between the letters and slow. So it was great. But I don't know if you have any thoughts. I think that kind of sums up our thoughts on Joey Logano winning.
God.
But 5 overtimes, right?
This is gonna break my family's heart. But I realize now that like when bad things happen to Joey Logano, I don't celebrate them enough. Because God, every race he wins, I just really don't want him to win it. And it's like I need him to win a race where he's up against people that I dislike. Like I just need that to happen.
I mean, we almost had Zane Smith absolutely turn the playoff field on its head. You know, that would have been crazy.
Yeah, that would have.
Or LaJoy or Host. No, I don't know if Hocevar was up
there. Hocevar wasn't up there because he was having a
mid-off.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, I was Ryan Preece as well, who was up there at the end. All those overtimes, and it was a lot of chaos for something that wasn't
a race that was really, not full of it, right?
No, it was a pretty okay race. Nashville's put on some pretty good shows, but the way the fuel situation worked out in that yellow with Austin Cindric, who I don't know how he spun out, by the way. Like it looked like
he was just dicking around with Gregson.
Yeah, but you know how in NR 2003 crash comps, how the guy making the comp will randomly spin on the backstretch all by himself. That's what it looked like he was doing. It looked like he was trying to make a really sick crash
comp.
Because he was he bounced off the car, went down to the grass, and then spun out back up the track for some reason. It was so
Austin
weird to
Cindric
look
is
at.
a nerd, so it fits.
It was just really weird. And then because everyone was short on fuel, everyone just kept. Well, first of all, not necessarily everyone kept running out of fuel. The first restart, I believe it was, right, where Kyle Larson was on the bottom behind Denny.
Was it the first or the second one? I think it was the second one.
There's too many of them, Joe.
Yeah, I think it was the second one.
They all blend together.
I was broadcasting at this point, or at least getting ready to. So that's how my night went. But yeah, so we rewind a little bit too, because Ross Chastain and Denny Hamlin had an excellent battle there in the last 10 laps. Denny was obviously quicker, but Ross is Ross Chastain, Ryan Newman 2.0 in terms of not letting people pass him. Did an excellent job kind of keeping Denny behind him. Denny did an excellent job of finally making Ross make a mistake going into turns 1 and 2, which, again, for all the negativity that comes about this car, it's so hard to pass and aero and stuff. I think when we see battles like this at the end of a race, I think it makes it more rewarding to watch a guy kind of work someone over to make a pass. I don't know. I know that it's probably a Swiss cheese argument, but...
Yeah, and this one didn't feel quite as bad as some, especially during the N18D era.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't feel quite as bad as that.
Joey Logano and Kevin Harvick at Kansas.
A classic example, but it did kind of feel it felt less like Denny Hamlin couldn't do anything and more like what you said, and you put it very well, like Denny Hamlin was having to work him over, just kept poking and prodding until Ross made a mistake, which made it actually probably one of the better aero battles I think we've ever seen, just because, usually they're pretty one-sided, but they were both kind of fighting, and they were definitely both on the razor's edge because Denny made some mistakes and Ross made some mistakes. And ultimately it didn't really matter at all because we had a bunch of yellows. So,
which, as you alluded to there, I think, the 5 and the 11 keep finding each other on the racetrack. They will, because they're both very good right now. Yes. Kyle Larson absolutely was ready to shunt Denny Hamlin on that second overtime. He tried so hard, he wrecked the one.
He did.
And I don't know. First off, I don't know what Larson was thinking because he had 2 wheels on the apron.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know. It feels like a very phony rivalry in terms of it's not.
It's one-sided as hell.
People want to. Okay, real quick, one-sided rivalries. I'm wearing a hat of a school that had to do that for a little bit there. But now we're on top. Jeez. So let me tell you, being on the losing side of one-sided rivalries, it freaking sucks.
Of which Kyle Larson usually is in this
So
one.
I understand Kyle Larson's pain. On the other hand, just get better. As someone that's on the other side of it now.
Yeah. Yeah, it really does just seem like Kyle Larson just keeps getting pushed around by Denny Hamlin because he lets it happen. And then we see it come to fruition where Kyle Larson finally tries to push back and he messes up literally immediately.
Because he doesn't know how to do it. That's the problem. There is we talk about having your young driver, you got to learn your racecraft and stuff. There's also the bit of your young driver, you need to learn how to not get pushed around.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for Kyle Larson, he's okay with getting pushed around.
Yeah.
And then when he tries to push back, like you said, he either takes it too far or doesn't take it far enough, and he doesn't seem to be able to find that sweet spot. Because there is a place for it, right? We're not saying at least I'm not saying he needs to go out there and just dump the 11. But you gotta be okay with pushing back, and then you gotta also be okay with him pushing back onto you, and you can't freak out when that happens either. And I think that's kind of the balance that Larson, if there is one thing about his driving in the NASCAR Cup Series needs to be worked on, it's that.
Yeah, and it's not even it's not like he's not aggressive either. I feel like his
No, but he's stupid when he's aggressive.
his bottom line aggression is probably 7 or 8 out of 10. But it's when he has to push. It's like you said. It's when he has to specifically push back. He doesn't know how to apply the extra without overdoing it and wrecking himself or wrecking others. He can only go at his 8 out of 10 in aggression and only do that the entire time because he pushes people around on track. He is as aggressive as most race fans say Denny Hamlin is.
Yeah.
He is that same level. He is that same guy who will use you up and will put you in compromising positions because that's just who he is and he wants to win and that's how it is. It's just when more is asked of him, he doesn't quite get up to the task.
Hell of a race car driver, though. No.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Obviously. There's no doubt about that.
Any other thoughts there on the end of the Cup race? I mean...
besides
way too many overtimes, and I don't understand people trying to say, well, we shouldn't have overtimes or we should cap it at 3 or because this was an outlier.
Yeah, that's stupid because most of the yellows are because people ran out of fuel.
Yeah.
Yep. What are we doing? And I agree with you. It was an outlier anyway.
Yeah. John Hunter Nemechek won the Xfinity race. I don't know.
I didn't even get to watch it, man.
That's okay. It was a good race, but John Hunter Nemechek can get it done in Xfinity. He can't get it done in Cup. Just want to... Whatever.
Yep.
I'm really worried about news out of Legacy. Christian Eckes led every lap of the truck race. I didn't watch the truck race. I doubt you did either, but just...
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay, did you enjoy it? Was it good? Were there any enlightening moments?
There was actually some half decent racing in the field, but there was nothing
for the lead.
Nothing for the lead, and it wasn't outstanding. But it was a very rare, decent Truck Series broadcast.
No.
Yeah, I was really surprised. It was actually
who was
pretty
leading
good.
It, though?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I had it muted.
Okay, fair.
But they had good cameras. But they had good cameras. Everyone else said it was good, but the cameras were good and the replays were good, and they didn't miss anything.
Oh, okay.
Which they usually do.
Right, naturally.
So, by the current standard, it was good, even just without knowing if they were speaking good words.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
fair enough.
What was that?
Okay. Right.
We don't have our sound, Joe.
We don't, but so clang, clang, from the shop. Davey's rolling his eyes. Carson Hocevar.
Not unbelievable.
Turned Harrison Burton down the back straightaway under caution. He was fined $50,000 today. Docked 25 driver points. We okay with that?
Can't be doing that.
I see a lot of people trying to go back to the Byron and Hamlin thing from 2 years ago now, and it's again, consistently inconsistent. Maybe this is the new precedent. Hopefully it is.
Hopefully.
If you do
the Byron one was
worse.
Probably more dangerous.
If you do want to compare it to something, compare it to the penalty they gave Austin Hill at Charlotte when he dumped Cole Custer, and they're pretty comparable.
They cupified it.
So, yeah, I think what Hills was like 12, or was it still 25 driver points, but like 25 grand instead of 50?
I think so. It was something like that.
So, bada bing, bada boom. Look at, they're being consistent. Now, they'll be inconsistent in 6 months, but they're consistent now. So, let them have their cake. Yeah, you can't be doing that. I don't know if we need to expand upon that.
That's a no-no. Harrison
Burton's week got even worse, as Adam Stern has reported, and multiple people have reported without actually reporting. Josh Berry is rumored to be announced as the new driver of the number 21 for Wood Brothers Racing on Wednesday the 3rd, which is the day after we're recording. That's why I say the date. I like the hire. We've talked about it ad nauseum when we were talking about Justin Haley potentially going to the 21. Is this ride actually an upgrade? Is it a downgrade? Is it a somewhere in between grade? What do they do with the crew? We still don't know the status of Rodney Childers and the rest of that Ford team, who have stated they want to stay together.
Bob Pockrass tweeted, I'm not going to repeat the context of the tweet because it was like a joke. It was like replying to someone who said something specific. But he said something along the lines of, don't get your hopes up about Rodney to the 21 with Barry. I worry about that. That's something that I think is not great. It's great obviously for Wood Brothers. It's great because they have Josh Berry, who is a phenomenal driver and keeps improving and is going to be a fantastic Cup Series driver. And I think if he can stay with some good teams, he will probably be a champion one day. He's very talented.
We just don't know if this 21 team is a good team.
That's right.
Indications say it's not.
And I was only mildly confident in Josh Berry being able to perform in the 21 if Rodney Childers went, and it doesn't seem to look like that's happening, and so I worry even more now because that's just like we've talked about it before. 21 car is a poison chalice, and Josh Berry is going to have to perform ASAP if he wants to keep that ride and stay in the Cup Series.
Barry was one of the guys that was rumored to be going to FRM, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that still leaves 2 seats open there.
Yep.
Also, there are rumors about Cole Custer, maybe actually, again, FRM versus being in that Haas factory car. Now it seems like the winds are going towards him being in the lone Haas entry next year in the Cup Series. Trying to remember who else doesn't have a seat in the Cup Series right now. I mean, Ryan Preece, but I think we would probably say he's probably Xfinity Series bound if he's staying in the National Series.
That seems to be the prevailing rumor for him.
So Harrison Burton probably should also be Xfinity Series bound. Yep. I think he could probably use some more seasoning and then hopefully have an opportunity to go back to Cup. Noah Gragson still is out there. Doesn't sound like RCR is going to be getting that other Stuart Haas Racing charter. So maybe that's a landing spot for Noah is FRM, but silly season going to continue to get a little silly here. It's just domino after domino going to start falling very slowly, I have a feeling.
Yeah. It's all coming.
So another thing, in season, silly season, it was announced that Joey Logano is going to replace Haley Deegan in the number 15 for AM Racing this week at the Chicago Street Course as a way to gauge where the team is.
Basically, they just want to make sure that she actually does suck as bad as they think.
Yeah.
Not to say that she does suck. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they want to make sure that they suck as bad as they think she does.
So, it'll be interesting because I don't think Joey Logano's ever been in a bad race car.
Yeah. Surprising track to do this at as well.
I guess, but I mean it makes sense because I'm assuming Logano might be bringing a little bit of money or a little bit of sponsorship or something. Because he's probably trying to get more seat time. Yeah.
Also, if you don't understand why the Chicago, just a side note, if you don't understand why the Chicago Street Course or something like it is desperately needed for NASCAR, look at the entry list and look at the sponsors, tab on it, the sponsors column, and look at how all of them are completely full.
Like Fortune 500 companies too. And
yep.
Instead of having random capital financing company.
I wonder why IndyCar teams are really upset that their finale got moved from the streets of Nashville to Nashville Super Speedway.
Well, that's
almost like it matters.
Hey, but they're on Fox now, and Mark Miles had some pretty scathing words to say about that comparing to other motorsports. I don't have that on our sheet. Do you have any thoughts about that? He pretty much said, like, oh, you can look at NASCAR's TV deal, and they're all over the place, but we're on one network, so we're better than them.
Yeah, okay, man. Sure thing.
Money. I think it's just different strokes for different folks. And NASCAR fans, I feel like, are more... Like, the average NASCAR fan is more likely to go hunt out the NASCAR Cup Series broadcasts than the average IndyCar fan is to go hunt out the IndyCar broadcast if it's on USA or Peacock.
Wow, it's almost like that's why they're willing to spread out the NASCAR races.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like when you're a commodity that's worth something, you do that.
You can do that and not take a smaller deal to be on a big network and only have a 2.5-hour TV window.
Yep.
But IndyCar.
I love IndyCar.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Hey, you want to hear? Hey, I don't have this on the sheet, but it came across the news desk a couple hours ago. Christian Lundgaard is going to try.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Alexander Rossi is getting replaced after 2 seasons at Arrow McLaren.
McLaren is a show.
Yeah. I don't understand it. It was funny. I was listening to, because Rossi, Off Track with Hinch and Rossi, their podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to them this past week, and I think Rossi alluded to some like news coming or something, and like maybe it was a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. So maybe it was about Nolan Siegel. But anyways,
Jesus, man.
I guess they pretty much.
Also,
Rossi's
having a pretty good year right now.
The press release from McLaren too was, well, we're going to try our best to get Rossi top 5 in points. And it's like, what do you mean you're going to try to get him? I'm pretty sure he's willing you guys into top 5 because really Pato's the only guy that has any speed. So, yeah, I don't know. It's very, very, I'm pondering what the hell they're doing.
Turbulent times over there.
It's almost like they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
F1 go better for them this week or something? I don't know.
No. They had a lot of drama with Max Verstappen because Lando Norris and Max Verstappen crashed.
Oh.
Going
wonderful.
for the lead.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now we can put F1 into the video description.
Perfect. Yes.
So a couple months ago, I don't think we talked about it on here, but there is a rumor going around that Eric Almirola was suspended or taken out of the Joe Gibbs Racing Xfinity car due to like a confrontation with another
physical
Toyota.
Confrontation.
Yeah, with another Toyota Racing development driver or another TRD driver. I don't know why I said it the government name there, but apparently it was reported this week by, I believe, was it Bianchi that reported it? That Eric Almirola was suspended indefinitely by Joe Gibbs Racing. He'll be back in the car, though, eventually, for getting into a physical altercation with Bubba Wallace at a Toyota photo shoot.
Yeah.
Don't know why or what was said. I think I saw Bubba was asked about it. I didn't see his response.
He basically said, I am not allowed to talk about it to keep other people looking good. That's what he said, almost word for word.
Yikes.
Yep. Yep.
So
he probably didn't. Eric probably didn't say anything very nice.
Oof. Anyways, so that happened. I think he's supposed to be back in the car though, at some point.
I think for Indy actually.
Oh, you want to go?
No.
Should we go? Just so we can see Eric Almirola?
Hell no.
Back on
I
track.
want to see him.
The cheers are going to be insane. Anyways, Davey, what was your bottom split moment? We are flying this week.
We are.
Is there
anything you want to talk about, Joe?
I mean, not really. I don't know. I miss Matt.
Yeah, we can see where the bottom split and road to pro moments take us.
Yeah, let's see where we go. We're leaving all this in too to pad the time, but go ahead.
Of course. My bottom split moment of the last week. Golly, man, I don't know.
I mean,
it's been a Been a pretty good week.
Mine's Kyle Busch.
Poor Kyle Busch, man.
He got bailed out there on the one restart.
He got bailed out twice because, number one, he got his spots back, like you're probably about to say. But number two, he didn't get in that crash because Ty Gibbs flew in on the top line and cleaned out Ross Chastain.
I don't know what Ty
What was he
Gibbs
doing?
I don't know.
Because, like, it's not like... Oh, no one... Like, I saw, like, he was, like... He was the only car up there, and he was going as fast as everyone else. And he just cleaned him out in front of Kyle Busch. It was so funny. Lauren pointed that out to me, and I was like, oh, my God, you're right. Kyle Busch would have been in that crash if not for Ty Gibbs cleaning out the field. Or, like, just Ross, I guess, but yeah.
I was sitting there watching, and I'm like, what is Ty Gibbs a Cup Series driver? That was legit what went through my head.
Not a lot was said about it, but man, it was kind of ridiculous.
Arca brakes. So that my bottom split moment was just Kyle Busch continuing on his downward spiral at RCR. It seems like they again had a decent race going, and then feels like out of their control. It got wrecked on a restart because he was behind Larson when Larson ran out of fuel, and I think Chase just ran him over.
Yep.
So, and I'm sure Chase was getting pushed, or I'm sure there's some excuse. Also, shout out Hooters for not paying your bills to Hendrick.
Yeah, that was kind of ugly. Like
Hendrick's post, what they posted today, they're like, we had to unfortunately terminate our relationship with Hooters and
man.
Something.
Yeah, I can't have that either. Oh, jeez, what a weird.
The Hooters merch is gonna be really cheap at the hauler, though.
Sure is.
So, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good looking merch usually. So maybe I'll pick up some Chase Elliott Hooters merch. Anyways, go ahead.
I don't know. My bottom split moment's Joey Logano win the race. That was a bummer.
Fair. That's fair.
That was a bummer.
That's fair.
I know my parents like him, but I just
Your parents like him?
Yeah, they like him.
Oh no.
Shout out Jimmy and Patty, but man.
Why do they like him?
I can't hop on the Logano train.
What redeeming quality does Joey Logano have?
I think it's because he's such a little dork weirdo.
Okay. You know what? I can see it. But then just like Austin Cindric, because he's not as problematic.
I also think part of it is because...
Northeast.
Yeah, Connecticut born.
Fair enough.
Which I get that. But also... God.
I hate Joey Logano. I don't hate him. Okay, when I say hate, I hate the race car driver Joey Logano. Sometimes.
Yeah, agreed. Again, totally agreed.
I don't like it when people are like, I hate this person. It's like, I hate the race car driver. Don't hate the person. Hate the athlete.
Hate to your full potential.
Exactly. Okay. My road. Do you want to do road to pro moment first? Or do you want me to do road to pro moment first?
You should go first.
Okay, my road to pro moment goes out to EA Sports and the studio developing the new college football 25 video game. They released the Dynasty Deep Dive this week, or today actually, and wow, they did an excellent job of kind of like going through and actually meeting what people wanted and stuff. And this game might feed generations of families and whatnot. If this game is as good as it looks, might not even need to buy another one, which, it's EA Sports, so they're going to be like, oh, we're never going to do that again. But, yeah, no, the game looks really good so far. Still hoping to get some more gameplay footage because we haven't gotten enough of that, which is worrisome in the respect that I want to know how it actually plays a little bit more than like, oh, here's all the fun features of when you're playing the game, but not actual footage of you playing the game. But it seems like they've done a good job of capturing like college football. Talk about college football a lot. Best comparison for folks like Davey that don't follow it is like European soccer in terms of
very tribal.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I will say, like looking at all the videos for it, and especially today, the little deep dive. There's at a certain level, I love that to the point where like if it was coming out on PC, I would probably just get it just to have that kind of depth.
I bought a PS5 just to play this game, Davey.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people have. I think Austin Spencer bought a PS5 today to play the game.
So, yeah, that's...
Or like if it was my thing, I probably would do that. and I'm just not
Right.
going to do that because it's not my thing. But like if it came out for PC, I'd probably just grab it just to like be able to do the scouting and the stuff like that. Because there's a game that I play right now that I joke about. I call it Spreadsheet Simulator, but it's Football Manager,
Auto Sim
and it's
2.
Auto Sim 2. I mean, kind of same thing, but you have a little bit more control in Football Manager, where it's like it's it's a soccer management game, and you control everything. You control wages and scouting and players and formations and tactics, and you can send players on a language course if they don't know the language so that they can gel with the team better and their morale's better. It's all like intricate stuff like that, and I just love it. I wish I was into college football enough to like care enough to buy a PlayStation 5 just to play the game, but I'm not going to do that. But
we'll work on it.
It is cool, and
this fall we'll work on it with you.
Well,
We're
I don't know
gonna
about that,
when we have
but-
our college football show here on Track and Turf that I really want to do. I just have to find time to do it.
And you gotta. I feel like some people in the USRL would be so good at that.
Oh, I have a cast in mind.
Ooh, can you? I'll write down the timestamp of where we're talking about it, but can you tell me and I'll bleep it?
Can I just not tell you on here, or do I have to?
Why?
Cause I don't want to have to bleep it.
Oh my
For the video.
god.
I mean,
Okay,
you
fine.
mentioned one. You mentioned one. I think Austin Spencer, friend of the show, of course, fellow JTN broadcaster.
You don't have to go into the whole cast because I did realize you have to bleep it, but
yeah.
I
But
get it.
He's one that I like, top of mind. He'd be good.
Gotcha. He would be good. He's all about it.
Yeah. But you
Absolutely.
know we can't poach. Can't poach the Oofsides cast too much. So there's that too.
And maybe you can. Maybe if you poach the right person, their podcast will be less than 4 hours long.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he maybe he lives in the Northeast or something.
Yeah, maybe. Probably.
You know,
Some may say. I bet I could pinpoint where it is.
Might be on a certain street in a certain town, just outside of a certain city.
Big Jeff Burton fan.
Oh, big
Anyway,
Jeff Burton fan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Really?
No.
Okay. Like every other basic fan, he's a big Dale Jr. fan. Anyways,
Real ones will get what I just said at least. Anyway.
I didn't. Road to Pro moment, Davey.
Also,
you can DM players in the recruiting and dynasty mode, which is
I saw
freaking
that.
hilarious. Go ahead.
So I've been getting around telling people, and I've been working on it. What do you mean?
You can't say I've been getting around. That
I absolutely
there are
can and will.
connotations to that.
I absolutely can and will say that.
Okay, all right.
But I've been getting around to telling people, and I probably got like one more like set of people to tell before this. But since this isn't getting put out until like later tomorrow, I mean the audio version will be up, but I'll take care of it by then. They'll know before this comes out. It's just because it's a big thing, big deal. Lauren and I got engaged.
What the hell? What the Davey!
I didn't tell Joe, as you could tell.
What
so we could
the?
get the reaction.
I feel. Wow. Wow. Congratulations to you and the future missus.
Yep. It was very nice.
That's
It was
awesome.
lovely. Had a good day.
Did you? How much planning? I'm assuming you proposed.
Yep.
So, how much planning went into the day, and how? Did she have? Okay, I guess better
It was
question. Did she have an idea that it was happening before?
Oh yeah, she. I mean, we've kind of talked about the plan on what
Okay.
we would want to do because of certain things that we want to avoid, and then certain things that we want to have as our like experience for what we're doing and all that stuff. And I'll talk about that some other time. But it was she like knew. So it was weirdly, it was like more pressure but less pressure.
Okay.
It was like, well, now I don't know what to do. Now I don't know what to do because you just know everything. You just know. But also, you know, it's whatever. It doesn't have to be like the craziest thing in the world, but it has to be good. And it was like less and more stressful all at the same time. But it was good, and I'm happy, and it's great, and I'm excited to continue sharing it with people. Just over time, I'm not going crazy. The people's reactions are a lot. So not that I'm not happy that they're happy for me. It's just a lot to soak into the skin when it's happening. It's like, okay, yeah, like I'm happy too. It's like, it's, I think we both suffer from this. We don't know how to accept like compliments. That's what it feels like. It feels like someone complimenting you. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, that's so amazing. Yeah, it is.
Thanks.
And it's like, I'm not right. I'm not being not genuine. It's just it's like, yeah, she's great. I know. I'm kind of like, that's why it's happened.
Right.
She's the best. What the hell are you talking about? Like, it's obviously, but yeah, it's good. I'm happy, and I'm glad that, because I shared a picture in the USRL group chat that you could have seen. That you didn't see. So no, I was banking on you not seeing it.
What group chat? Like I
was banking on it. Just whatever. It doesn't matter. I was banking on you not seeing it.
You're banking on me not seeing it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that one banked in, didn't it? Congratulations.
Thank you.
To you and Lauren. Okay.
Mostly me.
Well, mostly you. You're the lucky one. She's the one that got to deal with you.
Exactly. I can do all those funny jokes. I like all those jokes can be real.
Ah, the old ball and chain.
The ball and chain. She is going to text me upon hearing that because she listens to the show and she's not going to be happy.
No, it's my fault.
It's still funny.
I got something. Okay, never mind. I'll tell you after the show.
Okay.
All right. Well, folks, I guess that wraps up our edition of the Fake Race. My new Road to Pro moment is that. Fake Racers podcast this week. Make sure if you haven't already, you follow us at Fake Racers on X and also at Track and Turf on X. We're going to, hopefully as football season rolls around, we should have some more content on the Track and Turf. I'm going to try to be more proactive about doing stuff with that. And yeah, just overall, follow us, subscribe, do all those things, help support us, click like, interact. Davey, what you got going on this weekend?
Not a damn thing. Well, actually, no. I set up OBS.
Okay.
And we might be doing a fun race this week in the absence of our regular USRL series, and I'll probably stream on my Twitch.
The Cup Series started last week, and then now you have an off week.
Now we have an off week. Feels like IndyCar.
So Tommy's behind kind of the scheduling?
No, that was someone else.
Ah.
You can't make fun of Tommy for that one.
You should have just laughed at my joke.
It was. I know. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it to the poor guy though.
Okay.
I couldn't do it to the poor guy. I'm sorry.
Did I say on here? I don't know if I said last week, but I saw Tommy for dinner like a couple weeks ago now.
I think you mentioned.
I might have mentioned it after the show.
Yeah.
Tommy's a hoot.
Probably. He is.
Watch out for Tommy being on a JTN Track and Turf something broadcast at some point.
I hope so, man.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Okay, so check out D7H5 or with an ER at the end on Twitch.
Yep.
At
Hopefully.
Hazard,
I don't know what day yet, but I'll tweet about it and I'll retweet about it and stuff.
Just follow at Fake Racers. Just follow that Track and Turf. Yeah.
Don't follow me. All the fun stuff's on those two accounts anyway.
Yeah, Davey just posts about politics and.
Do I?
No, it was just a joke. I forget. I saw one of your tweets over the weekend, and I was like, "What the hell?" And I just kept going.
What the hell? Let's see. I want to see if I can guess it.
I'd have to look. Let's. This is a great use of our viewers' time, by the way.
I wanted to. Did I say last week the game I wanted to play?
Oh, it was a retweet. Oh no, it was your last. Well, it was your retweet and then your last tweet before that retweet.
Man, first of all, my retweet, the one about Snoopy?
No.
Wow.
Nope, the one before that.
People who eat their food first and then drink their beverages scare me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's insane behavior. Do you do that?
If I go out and like eat fast food, yeah, usually. If I get all the stuff at once.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know.
What is wrong with you? Okay, we gotta end the show.
Food
We have
scarcity
to-
growing up. That's what's wrong.
We have to handle this off air.
We throw fists off air.
We have to handle this off air. Eric Almirola Bowball style.
Okay, all right. Wait, who am I?
Joe Gibbs.
Okay, I'll take it. Folks, again, like, comment, subscribe. Disagree with us, send congratulations to Davey. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week on the Fake Racers Podcast.
I'll do Matt's thing. Bye.